Okay, next we have Danse Macabre, which I have done on my channel for Halloween before, but we basically rearranged an intermediate level band arrangement. Okay, so that's the whole opening statement, the violin solo, and then the long fluid, also violin solo. So I had a couple weird things with the trill, triplet thing, and I cracked a couple notes. I have a little toy here, which is my anti-crack note tool. It's called, what is it called? I don't know what this is called. It's from Portex Incorporated. I've always called it an Inspirex, but I don't see that anywhere on here, so maybe I made that up. Incentive Spirometer. Whatever that is. And this is how it works. I believe you're supposed to suck air in, and it's supposed to get you to have breath support. That's not how we use it in the brass world. We plug a mouthpiece into it, and blow into it or buzz into it. And it's got a little ball. You gotta keep the ball up. And that's it. So I can buzz this whole phrase on this, and it's got a little meter so I can make it more difficult. See? And you want the ball to go straight up instead of that slow. So that's more what we're looking for. And this does wonders for my tone, it does wonders for my phrase length, and the air support. So I will probably play this whole more melodic phrase through it. It's not necessary to tongue because you're really focusing on the buzziness of it, but if you buzz, you want to make sure that ball doesn't start clicking again. You want it to stay on the top. And that means as you're tonguing, the air is still moving. Da, 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 da. So the tongue is just slightly interrupting the air. However, the air is still pushing through right after in order to keep that ball up and keep the phrase going. So. It's like magic, isn't it? So anytime I feel any fuzziness in the tone, anytime I crack a note, it's because what I'm trying to do is not lining up lips to the note I'm playing, to the horn, to the slide position. Something is not connecting there. So I'll throw that in, and it usually reveals exactly what it is. If not, maybe I'm playing a wrong slide position or slightly off or something, but that's basically how it goes. This piece kind of goes on like that, but there's a really tricky section. Of course, I wrote it for myself, but this is the opening statement up an octave. That's a shame. So, we don't want that to happen in the concert, right? Play this whole thing. This is the hardest thing I'll probably play in the whole piece, and then I screw up the last note. It's always... People will forgive you if you miss every note if you make the last note. Whatever you do, you probably don't want to focus too much on playing right notes. It's weird. In practice, of course you do, but in the concert, you want to focus on making music. You want to have every wrong note you play be a fluke at that point. And if it's a fluke, there's no reason to get upset over it. So like that, I would qualify as a fluke, but I'm in the practice room, so I'm going to try to fix it. So, I might do that over and over and over again until I played it right more times than I played it wrong. I'm doing this whole section in third position. I find it easier to match the partials up. It's, what are the notes? A flat, C, and B flat. And so I would be going all over third and first, but... So if you have the dexterity to play them all correctly and hit all those partials without having to go to first, that's what I do. I tried it the other way and I just started flubbing all over the place. And so sometimes you just have to make a decision for yourself. I know it's probably technically better to do it in first. Might sound a little bit better, but it feels so much better for me to do it in third, so I do it in third. However, I gotta make sure I get that last note, so let's try it again. Okay, so, did you hear it? I missed a note there, but it wasn't the last one, and you all forgave me. This next section is, and then once you've gotten it to a pretty good performance level, but there are still some spots that are giving you trouble, don't worry about the other spots. Run them maybe once at the end of your practice or once at the beginning, I don't know. It depends on the piece, but then just look at those problem spots. You don't want to never do a full run, but most of the time, don't worry about the stuff that you've got. You've got it, and just focus on the stuff that you need to do, because otherwise you're wasting your time and you're wasting your energy and your endurance on stuff that you don't need to practice. So now I'm going to skip to the end, which is something I really need to practice. This is no longer a notey thing, and this is a range, endurance, and lining up partials out of the blue. So it goes like this. So that's the first one. I just have to nail those. I have no references. The band is just playing this long chord, and I just have to play that effortlessly. Nothing else is happening, nothing to hide behind. So that's something I want to practice many times throughout my day. Just pick up the horn and just play that. And then the next one is even worse. It happens right after that. Same thing, out of the blue. I have to play high D. So, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 and then out of the blue. So this is why we're practicing it. It was there. Nobody would listen to that and go, "Oh, why did you do that? That was awful." However, I don't feel great about that. I think the tone was really harsh and the partials were not right there. So I'm going to try it a few more times. So, did you hear that? Partials were there, tone quality was good, but I hit a partial in between the D and the B flat. I would imagine it's the C. So this is an exercise now I've just made up to help me with this exact phrase. So I'm going to go from the C to the B flat and make sure, the D to the B flat, and make sure the C is not there as I play it. So, 2 times it popped in there, but I think if I do that a few times a day this week, I will know how that feels, and I'll be able to do it. So let's start at the beginning of this phrase and see if I can do it. If not, I'm not too worried. I still have a few days. So, the stuff that I did not just play was a little rusty, but we're going to work on that tomorrow. Let's see what's next.